Hello fellow worshippers, welcome back. Ross Grease Gaming back, and today we have a video on, well, Raz, what are you doing? Yep, carriers. We're gonna talk about them. So, more specifically, the American side, since everything's getting slightly changed in a, teeny tiny bit. I guess the tribes, so to speak, have spoken, the forum posts have spoken across the boards, and now everybody wants the Americans to become, and I kind of agree with them, actually viable. So, the American carriers are getting changed, and I'm going to go over all of them in this video, so if you guys really don't care about this, go look on the forum posts. There's a whole bunch of stuff on Twitter, all kinds of different kinds of things you can actually look up that actually give you this kind of info basically in hardcore. But I want actually to go over the whole 9 yards and actually go and say, this is the new lineup. If you never tried carriers, this is the new changes, so that if you guys are interested in joining the American side, this is the whole line you're expecting to play. Now I try getting some other people in here to talk about them, some people that have been playing carriers for years, but a lot of people currently in this video, on time of making it, aren't here, so unfortunately I really can't get my hands on it. So anyway, let's start with the tier 4, the Langley. This was the first of the line you're going to get. You're going to get a lot of very simple. 1 fighter, 1 torp, and 1 bomber. Now, there's still fire-tainting bombs. They're still high explosive, which will do enough for the game. You know, with a dispersion 243, damage of 5400, good for a standard tier. Good for a standard tier. And you get a good amount of AA defense once you start building it up. Then we get to the boat, which is a little more typically bargy, towery American carrier. Looks a little more traditional, shall we say, compared to other ships. With the B-hull, you get a larger anchor capacity and more planes. I've had this ship before, but they did change it again. It's still 111. They really didn't change, though, very much on that aspect. It's still the Douglas TDP, the Douglas SBD-2, so you still got high explosive bombs. You still have torpedo bombers, and still the fighters, especially the F4F4. Good plane, by the way. Now we're going to start seeing some changes. Now, before there was another loadout, just like in the Bogue. If you notice, that's gone. There's no more flight controls. Now you got a 111, 1 fighter, 1 torp, and 1 bomber. And again, high explosive. Same amount of damage as the previous, just a little much higher health rating. And now the F6F3. So there's the first change. When I first had this, it's still in the game currently, you have 2 fighters and a bomber loadout is the strong suitor for this. Now you're back to the 111. It's going to be interesting to see. We'll see what happens with that. Now we're going to get into some ships that actually I own, so you guys can see color and shininess. I've already actually put everything I could on this. This is the new Tier 7 Ranger. She's going to have the F6F5 again. You can see him clearly as day. But now you have a TBF, and again, the high explosive bombs. These are tier 7 bombers, so the same as the Independence for planes, just at tier 7. So, right off the bat, it's 2 dive bombers, 1 torp, and 1 fighter. So right off the bat, that's getting changed. Now we're getting into the higher tiers, the Lexington. This is a bigger ship that was at one time one of the biggest carriers I've ever built, so Raz, what the hell's going on with this one? Well, there's a new bomber in town, folks. Do you see this line here? First off, 2 bombers, 1 torp, 1 fighter. Again, you can see there's a trend here of only 1 fighter in the projectors, in the loadouts. But now there's 2 different bombers. The Douglas SB5 you get originally. Then you have 2 different ones. You have the Curtis SB2C, or the Curtis SB2C of another type. As you can see here, you have now AP dive bombers compared to high explosive bombers. Now, difference between two is pretty much typical. AP is much better for hitting a you get the high explosive, and then you have the APs. APs are going to have a smaller dispersion. You can hit that target very small, but you have armor-piercing 1,000 bombs compared to 1,000-pound high explosive bombs, which technically in this game will have more damage, but we'll see what happens. I think a lot of people are going to try the armor-piercing because at tier 8, you're going to start getting into those Germans with that turtleback armor, which, if you use AP, is going to ruin their day. Now to the tier 9, the Essex. Now you got fighters. Now you got 2 fighters, 1 torp, and 2 bombers. And again, armor piercing, high explosive. And high explosive again does more damage than the armor piercing. But again, armor piercing bombs. We all seen what the Enterprise can do, so take anything you have planned with a grain of salt what you're going to do. Because you might ruin the entire fun of that other ship. So yeah, watch out everybody. Now for the tier 10, the Midway. The last, it was designed right at the end of World War II. And she's one nasty looking carrier. And one massive carrier, might I add. You still got the F-8F gunmen plane fighters. Your load's not going to be 222 across the board. Two torps, 2 dives, 2 torps, and 2 fighters. You also get the dive bombers again, and a high explosive. Again, 1,000, 10,080. Just like the tier 8. So for tier 8 and up, you have 8,000, 8,000, 8,000. They're the same type of bomb for each ship. Now, I don't know if that's going to be the same constant across. This still is the test server, but most times the test server is pretty much the finishing touch to the game. Do I think that's okay? Well, I'll say it's fine for now, but I don't play carriers very much, so I do not know for sure. But my thoughts are it's kind of lackluster and probably needs a little better system than that. But that's my 2 cents on that matter. Can it be a lot better? Absolutely. But we'll see what happens with that. That's all I can really say. You know, we'll see what happens for sure. But nonetheless, that is the new carrier changes that they're putting in the game. So I hope you guys get informed by that, honestly. I mean, these build-outs I have for these carriers, this is probably not for you. I do not know very much on the carrier department, as much as the next guy next to me. So, but if you guys have any thoughts or any comments about this stuff, write them down below. put your 2 cents what the new changes are. I want to see what everybody has, and I also like to see people work together and have their thoughts and help other people out with this, because these changes are going to be coming out very, very soon, and I don't want anybody getting caught with their pants down, so to speak, on the changes. So thanks again, everybody, for watching this video on the new carrier changes. Hope to see you in the next one video. As always, take care of yourselves, and see you guys around.